Welcome, or welcome back to Reactionary Monastery. On another day, another ideological cage match pretending to be the truth. Left, right, Gentile Jew, billionaire grifter, same circus, different costume. But if there's one thing this monastery was built for, it's being a glitch in the matrix and poking holes in the narrative. If that's your vibe, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's see what Fuentes is on about today.
So, I don't really know what is going on. I'm a little confused. Do I have a karmic debt? Like, what is going on? Like, seriously, did Palantir make the call? What is happening here? Because it is like for the past 2 weeks, I have been under this coordinated attack. Think about it. All of a sudden, Jonathan Greenblatt goes on TV and says he's going to get every Groyper clipping account banned from Instagram. The Atlantic does a huge hit piece about how all my clips need to be banned on Instagram. The Canadian broadcasting company, State Media, shuts down Entropy, which is how I make the super chats. They literally fly out to Asia and they do a big hit piece on my super chat platform. Washington Post does a giant, like 5,000 word hit piece on the super chats, invoking Christine from Ohio, talking trash about the show, all this other stuff. Then they do this skin suit conference this past weekend where they bring in all the ops and all the turd worldists, mud slimes, left-wing filth, haters, e-girls, whatever. And then, I don't know, today it's just like the bottom fell out. Everybody's attacking me today. And so I see all this stuff and I'm like, wow, they really don't want white people to vote Democrat. Is that what it is? Think about it. I really didn't even think that was the biggest taboo. There's some red lines you just can't cross, I guess. Lately, you can attack Jews all day long. That's totally in fashion. You can attack Israel. You can be racist. People don't even bat an eye when I say the N-word. Nobody even cares. But you start to say, I'm off the Republican plantation, I'm voting Democrat, and everybody loses their minds. Why? Because all that other stuff is according to their plan. Nick Fuentes is anti-Semitic, says the N-word. The Goyim are waking up. You know, that's all part of the plan. Nobody freaks out because all of that is predictable. All of that is a part of the plan. But you know, for the past 4 years, we've all been saying, hey, Republicans are not doing anything they promised to do. They're not deporting the illegals. They're not keeping us out of the war. They're giving Israel tens of billions of dollars. And the Republicans say, well, what are you going to do about it, huh? What can you do? You've got no options. You've got nowhere to go. We're the only game in town. What are you going to do? Vote Democrat? And what happens when the Groypers, what happens when the Wang halves, what happens when the white guys say, yeah, I'm thinking we are. I'm thinking we are going to vote Democrat. We are going to vote Democrat in the midterms. We are going to vote for Amy Acton in Ohio. Yeah, because fuck this Indian. Yes, we are voting for Amy Acton because fuck this Indian anchor baby. He's a literal anchor baby. You ran on mass deportations. You ran on ending birthright citizenship. And you're running an anchor baby, first-gen Indian pharmaceutical billionaire who hates Americans for governor. And you're surprised when people say, yeah, this guy needs to lose. I'm going to help him lose. I'm going to vote for the Democrat. I'd rather have the lesser of two evils. Yeah, a Democrat is less bad than an anchor baby Republican.
That's because choosing between the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil, Nick. You Hegelian dialectic controlled opposition shill. I don't know if you're actually a Fed or not, but do you even know what the word government means? To govern, to control. Mente, Latin for mind. That the best option is to not play their game, passively, aggressively, walk away.
So it seems like This is how I know it's the right move. You understand? When you encounter the resistance, that is when you know you're doing the right thing. People say you're getting all this pushback. It's so provocative. It's so controversial. People are saying it's unthinkable. You're ruining everything. How could you do this? It's unthinkable. That's how you know we're exactly where we need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. Because honestly, this is the same kind of dynamic when I said not to vote for Trump. Remember that? All these people that are telling me not to vote Democrat, they were all pro-Trump in 2024, down to a man and woman. They were all saying, you can't sit this one out. What are we really going to have? Kamala, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. It's going to be a golden age. How could you... Remember? I remember the exuberance of election night, people posting the jib-jab face swap of Vivek, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Tucker, and Trump, and Vance dancing to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. And people said that was funny. People said that was a good meme. People said that we have all the energy, woke is dead. It's all the same people. They were behind then. They were 2 steps behind then, and then they caught up and said, oh my gosh, you were so right. How were we so blind? We kneel. Trump was a Jewish puppet. They're 2 steps behind now, and now it takes them 3 weeks to say, why is he saying to vote Democrat? I don't get it. This is too complicated.
No, the truth is simple. Act with integrity and personal responsibility. Act with true morality. Do not steal or try to collectively bargain with psychopaths that are incapable and do not care about your well-being as an individual. It's really not that complicated.
So I saw, for example, Dan Bilzerian today says on Twitter, first he's telling us that the left is trying to kill right-wingers. Now he says to vote for the Democrat in Ohio. It's too contradictory. And it's like, Dan, I know you're not that smart, but it's really not that complicated. I mean, it really boils down to that. This is why they call us Goyim. Like, sorry, this is why they call us Goyim. I used to think low IQ anti-Semitism is just something that they said. I was wrong. Okay? I was wrong. Low IQ anti-Semitism is real. It's Dan Bilzerian. You know it. I know it. Pretty much the whole world knows it. There is such a thing as low IQ anti-Semitism. We have been seeing it. It has been out of control. It has been running rampant. And what do I mean by that? It's these people that all they know how to say is, it's the fucking Jews. That's all. It's like they're just pressing a button. They can't tell you anything about it. There's no depth. There's no complexity. There's no even real understanding. They don't know anything about anything. That's all they... Maybe Hitler is a good guy. A Holocaust joke. It's a fucking Jews. Hey, retard, it's a fucking Jew. I know, Dan. He calls me up on the phone. He tells me it's the Jews for 2 hours. I want to say, Dan, I know. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nick Fuentes. I've been saying that for 10 years. I know. Every time he calls and I pick up the phone, he's telling me about how the communist commissars are Jewish. Got it. I know. He's telling me about how it's all of them. I know. He's telling me about how, Israel's causing all the wars and not... I know. Preaching to the choir. Got it.
At least be specific. Say it's the Rothschilds. Say it's the people involved in the central banks. Say it's the people like Jeffrey Epstein who are continuing the blackmail rings that have been going on for however many decades or hundreds of thousands of years. It's the Rubes and the Goldbergs. The people blindlessly following orders who've been tricked are the Rubes, and the Goldbergs are the people who actually set up the machine. At the end of the machine, after the little marble rolls through and the dominoes fall down, that the end goal is pressing a button that is leading to the destruction of human freedom and endless enslavement and tyranny, and that is their end goal. And it's not every single Jew. That is literally stupid.
Anyway, so he says, he's telling us that the left is going to kill us, but now you're... Look, I mean, how much clearer can I make it? I've said it so many times. We are going Democrat in 2026. This is a midterm election year. Do you understand that? It means that every House seat is up for election and 1/3 of the Senate is up for election. The president is not up for election this year, Dan. Okay? Now, if Democrats win the House, then for the next 2 years, you'll have a Republican president, a Democrat House, and maybe a tie in the Senate. Maybe Republicans will maintain control. And the Supreme Court is favored for the conservatives. So what does that mean? It means that Democrats are not going to be able to do whatever they want. There's no scenario where that happens because of checks and balances. The Democrats in the House will have to reconcile anything they pass with the Republican-controlled Senate. And even if the Democrats control the Senate, the president will have to sign off on any legislation. And that can only be overcome by a supermajority in the Senate of 3/5. Okay, this is Civics 101, and the Democrats will not have that. So what does this effectively do for the next 2 years? It does not give Democrats total control. It just checks the power of Trump. Right now, the Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate. And what that means is that in key votes, like, for example, on the Epstein files, Republicans are able to block that legislation. The only reason that the Epstein files came out is because a handful of Republicans, one of whom who is now retired, Marjorie Taylor Greene, mutinied against the GOP and voted with Democrats.
And thank God that they did. In what other healthy, well-balanced, well-meaning, good and or righteous relationship would you willingly want your partner to continuously lie bold-faced straight to you about what the fuck was actually going on in the relationship, in the world, what they're doing? No other one except for this crazy institution do we accept patent bold-faced lies as if they're a good thing for quote-unquote national security. In the name of feeling safe, we need to lie to you. Like, we're not fucking babies.
But if Republicans had a bigger majority, they would have been able to bury the Epstein files permanently. The same is true with the War Powers Act. There was a resolution in the Senate to shut down Trump's war in Iran. It was a party line vote. Every Republican, with the exception of Rand Paul, voted to prevent the Senate from blocking Trump's war in Iran. If the Democrats controlled the Senate, maybe they would have stopped the war. Okay, so this is just basic stuff. What's more, the Democrats control the House. Under the Constitution, they gain oversight powers. What does that mean? It means they can subpoena, compel the release of documents, they can depose, compel testimony, they can create subcommittees, and what they will do almost certainly is they will investigate the Trump government. Don't we want that? If Trump is in the Epstein files, don't we want the Democrats to impeach him? Don't we want the Democrats to open up an investigation? Don't we want them to compel the release of documents, compel testimony? They get that with oversight powers, and they will do that. And people say, oh, well, voting doesn't matter. Oh, well, it's all a uni party. Well, the Republicans and Democrats are still vying for power between each other.
No, they definitely wouldn't. It would get to whatever point that it was politically expediently convenient until the people who were investigating them were also actually involved and on the list. And then it's just like Washington, D.C. is just Hollywood Frugly people. They get behind closed doors, and it is a gray uniparty of pedophiles. It's not red versus blue. It's fucking me and you versus the fucking satanic pedophiles that are on Jeffrey Epstein's island or wherever the fuck they go to do their crazy rituals and abuse children and plan the downfall of the 99% because they fucking think that they descend from fucking aliens and the Atlanteans.
And so, yes, just like the Democrats gained the House in 2019 and immediately impeached Trump and created subcommittees and subpoenaed and all those other things, they're going to almost certainly do it again in 2027. And that is a good thing.